Hey guys, so today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what sectors I would be focusing on if I was building something from scratch, if I was, looking to start a new business. You know, um, there are different things that I would think about before I'd look at building a business or a startup. The first is whether I'm working or not, whether I'm going full time, whether I'm going part time, whether I'm going to do it while I work or dedicate myself fully. That's one of the first considerations I'd be thinking about. That would make me think about the type of business that I'd want to build. Um, the second thing I'd be looking at is what sector I want to build in. So the way I like to do it, I've been through Techstars and built Europe's first on-demand fuel business, is to look at what the US has done or is doing in terms of what YC is investing in, what's hot right now, what sectors and themes VCs are looking at currently. And there are a couple of themes, general themes that are, you know, that you've probably heard of. These consist of, AI, sustainability, so anything to do with, with climate tech, um, the creator economy, so building around the creator economy, which is obviously continually expanding and growing and changing, and will continue to do so. So I think building around these themes, and these are just a couple of them, but looking at what they're doing, what's working, what's not, and then understanding that and adapting that to the local market or concentrating on a specific niche that you're trying to build in. Um, so those are the first things I do. I'd really do my online research into what I think is again something that my local market, or if I was going, I wouldn't initially focus on the global audience, but you can do so. You'd really want to pick a niche. For example, copywriting startups like copy.ai have been doing really well, and have been continually growing along with Jenny and other competitors that do exactly the same thing. And there's a bunch of them now because the space is hot. And of course, then you had ChatGPT, which came out, and a lot of people have been building around AI, for example, essay writing, um, AI and copywriting, and so forth. So, you know, a theme that may have been exploding in 2018, 19 may not be relevant. Fuel on demand may have been less relevant in 2017, 18, and may be more relevant now because, of course, of the oil and gas prices. Therefore, your margins are higher. Therefore, you're making more. And as people look at to saving, you know, fuel on demand may be a more interesting topic now than it was back then. So again, it really depends on the timing. I'd really research. I mean, I like to look at Y Combinator startups. Um, I notice also they've been investing a lot of API type companies, but I'd really be researching into them. I'd be looking at all the big guys, the current themes. I'd be listening to a bunch of podcasts with top tier VCs and looking at what themes they like. So really into the ecosystem, really understanding what's happening. And the one thing I'd like to tell other founders is it's okay if you have a competitor that's doing the same thing in a different continent, whether it be Asia, whether it be the US. So, for example, GoGoVan, which is a on-demand large item delivery startup, which was big in Hong Kong and listed and growing in Hong Kong. There's a bunch of people which copied that concept in Europe, and it's working, and of course the States, and the same thing, it is working. So it's okay to take it from different continents, and it's okay to have some competition and try and be the market leader. Um, so don't be discouraged if someone else is doing it. Look at themes which could be interesting for you. Look at different themes in different sectors, and start, penciling out a basic, obviously a name, but a basic MVP of the product or the service that you're trying to build. Whether it be an e-commerce platform for let's say restaurants, you could start with individual chefs and sell it to them and prove the market, and then go and raise capital on the back of that. Alternatively, build an MVP, try and get some customers to show that to investors that people are willing to pay for the product, and then later on, you can actually go and raise capital on the back of that. So yeah, don't be discouraged. If you are looking to go full time, you can definitely look at some relevant themes while you're working, get everything planned out, and then go ahead and get some customers while you're still working, and then raise capital, and then you'll feel more secure going into that startup. For example, if you're going all in, that you'll be full time on it and you'll have some capital to be able to pay your salary and stuff. But the value in a startup is, of course, the equity. That's where the value is. Raising capital will not be enough. It will just essentially pay a founder's salaries. And then, of course, there's plenty of topics that we'll cover, and make sure to like and subscribe to Founder Bounty, which include, hiring, which is going to be extremely difficult, raising capital from investors, so getting your cap table ready, making sure that you're scaling, you're growing, and you have the right cap table, the right advisors on board. So plenty of things to think about. Make sure to subscribe to learn more. Thanks.